is CTV News.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Travis Fortnum. That video of the post-game fight between two minor hockey coaches is still making the rounds and still raising questions. Tonight, CTV's Bob Elchico looks into how the referees reacted and the pressure refs face in general when adults lose control.
Not their job to break up a fight between two grown men.
Young referees were caught in the middle of this dust-up between two hockey coaches following a U13 game this past weekend.
I hope they continue to referee, because sometimes stuff like this, especially if you're a really young referee, says, I quit. This is too much. They'll learn by it. This happened for a reason. You can learn from it. It'll make you a better referee.
Our focus from the referee side is to keep the game fair and safe for the kids. What happens with the adults is unfortunate, but a little bit outside of our scope of influence.
The game took place at the Atlas Tube Recreation Center in Lakeshore between the Bell River Canadians and the Riverside Rangers. The OMHA suspended all coaches from both teams indefinitely. Tonight, in a statement, Lakeshore Mayor Tracy Bailey shared her disappointment. Now, I spoke with attendants from a couple of different rinks tonight who said that they see coaches disrespecting each other from time to time. Now, not to paint all coaches with the same brush, but one of the attendants tonight in dealing with a rental was told by a coach to quote-unquote, shut up. That coach was from a neighboring town. Now, there are signs to warn everyone their actions are being captured on video, but no visible signage at a couple of area rinks encouraging parents, players, and coaches to respect the game and each other. The City of Windsor will soon be introducing new signage.
We will be posting those on our indoor facilities and our outdoor fields, and it will outline what our expectations are from spectators. And I would argue that coaches and players are held to an even higher standard.
That standard is set in Lakeshore. This sign is found in locker rooms as a reminder.
Everyone can learn from this, but if it continues to happen, then we have to look at ourselves and say, okay, why is this continually happening? Maybe they make a rule that says coaches shake hands before the games.
Bob Elchico, CTV News.
In Chatham today, a World War II-era grenade, or what was left of one, triggering a big scare. Police say staff at the Value Village found the inner workings of an old hand grenade in a donation bin just after 10 this morning. The store and neighboring businesses were quickly evacuated and the building was kept closed for the rest of the day as officers waited for military specialists to remove and dispose of the item. Investigators say there's no sign of any criminal intent, just a dangerous piece of wartime memorabilia that someone donated. Police say people do collect historical items like this, but when you're ready to part with them, you need to make sure they're safe and know how to dispose of them properly. Windsor police say a woman quietly mouthed "help me" to a police cadet at her front door, and that split-second signal set off a disturbing investigation. Investigators say the cadet was delivering court documents Tuesday morning when the woman at the door mouthed those words with a man standing behind her. The member moved her to safety and called for officers. Police say the man had stayed overnight and by morning had allegedly assaulted both people in the home, pulled a knife, made threats, and forced them into a bedroom. The victims weren't seriously hurt. Police arrested 62-year-old Vincent Lee Harris without incident. We're learning more tonight about that vicious house fire on Victoria Avenue. Windsor Fire says the blaze started in the basement, but the exact cause is still listed as undetermined. Parker Construction was on scene today to board up what's left of the home, with damages estimated at $750,000. No one was hurt, but one person was displaced as the investigation continues. Two cyclists were sent to hospital today after hitting an open car door at Wyandotte and Parent. Police say their injuries aren't believed to be life-threatening. No criminal charges, but officers are laying a Highway Traffic Act charge for improperly opening a vehicle door. Bill 33 is officially law after being given royal assent in the House today. This means the Education Minister has sweeping powers to take control of school boards. Today, the minister himself confirms the Greater Essex County District School Board is under his microscope. Here's CTV's Stephanie Mazzotti with more.
And if they decline, we'd be setting it back further. So the matter of urgency is gone.
I can add an amendment if they decline.
This debate at the Greater Essex County District School Board meeting Tuesday night is the latest event that caught the attention of the province's education minister.
The dysfunction that is happening there is on my radar.
Bill 33 gives Paul Calandra sweeping powers to take control of school boards when they, quote, fall off the rails.
They spent more time trying to decide if they should post resumes or post a job description than they did speaking about education in the system.
Calandra, speaking on AM 800, says a combination of that Tuesday night discussion, the resignations of 3 trustees, and a deficit is proof change is needed.
I'm very strongly looking at eliminating the role of trustee.
Windsor West MPP Lisa Gretzky doesn't agree with eliminating trustees, but agrees individuals need to be held accountable for any wrongdoing.
If there is misconduct by trustees, there needs to be repercussions for those individual trustees.
But she says having a local representative is essential.
If there's an issue, whether it's busing or violence in the classrooms, people can't get a hold of these supervisors and get answers.
Gretzky says an overwhelming number of teachers and parents don't agree with Bill 33.
In less than 48 hours, we know that over 100,000 emails have been sent to the government opposing this legislation and opposing the way the government rushed it through the legislature with very little debate.
She claims the minister is deflecting, not addressing the real issue, underfunding of the public education system.
For the Minister of Education to come out with a blanket statement that there is rampant problems and everything that's going wrong in the education system is a result of the trustees, that's just false. Absolutely false.
Stephanie Mazzotti, CTV News.
This afternoon, a statement from the Public Board's chair, Gail Hatfield. It reads in part, the overwhelming value of public education matters and local democracy remains essential. We intend to continue serving our communities with purpose and prioritizing well-being and success of every student. Local health officials are warning this flu season could pack more of a punch. They're keeping a close eye on early global trends at a new H3N2 strain that's starting to circulate. It's a type of influenza A, and it tends to hit young kids, older adults, and people with health issues the hardest. And with all 3 respiratory viruses back in the mix, the health unit is encouraging people to stay up to date with their flu, COVID, and RSV vaccines. More drama around the whole Dresden dump story, with the Toronto-based company behind the Reboot project taking the municipality to court. York One Environmental Waste Solutions wants to reopen the long-dormant waste site on Irish School Road, with residents strongly opposed and the municipality of Chatham-Kent saying York One needs council approval. York One disagrees and is taking the fight to court. No hearing date yet. A labor dispute at the John McGivney Children's Center is officially in the rear view, with a tentative deal now fully ratified. The deal reached between the center and OPSU Local 170 last week has now been formally approved, ending a dispute that had some families worried about service disruptions. The new deal means service at the center will continue without interruption. The OPP and Chatham-Kent Police launching their annual festive ride campaigns today. It's an annual program aimed at ensuring no one drives impaired during the holiday season. Police say expect to see an increased police presence through January 1st. And getting into the festive spirit in LaSalle, where they're gearing up to finally open that new skating loop. A big celebration is planned for next Friday, November 28th, with food trucks, characters, and a DJ. The town says they're working to see if they can keep the food trucks on site in the lead up to the holidays. And if you don't own skates, you'll be able to borrow them on weekends.
It's free skate loaning, so if people don't have skates and they want to come out and have a skate during the weekends, we'll have someone on site that can loan them a pair of skates to take a try. There'll be some skate aids as well for the little ones if they want to push something while they're on the ice. And then we're going to move further to look at programming as we move on through the winter as well.
Folks across our region still stepping up about a month after Hurricane Melissa swept through Jamaica. As CTV's Chris Campbell reports, the Caribbean Association and local businesses are working together to help out.
In Windsor, the owner of Stanley's Cuisine and Catering has had a stressful few weeks.
It was just this Friday. I heard from my mom.
Finally hearing from family 2.5 weeks after Hurricane Melissa devastated Jamaica.
Although the line wasn't that clear, but she's okay.
Steve Bramwell hadn't spoken with his mother since the day before the storm made landfall. Now his restaurant on Tecumseh Road West is collecting clothing, school supplies, and non-perishable food to ship to the hardest-hit areas.
We are still praying for those that even haven't heard from their loved ones up until now, and that it will be well with them also.
In Chatham-Kent, officials say the community has deep ties to Jamaica. Hundreds of temporary foreign workers from the island move here each year. Councillor Alison Story says several businesses like Truly Green Greenhouses and Yardy Vibes Jamaican Restaurant are gathering urgently needed supplies and planning fundraising events.
So they not only are employees and workers, but they're actually, residents, and they play a really important role.
The Rotary Club of Chatham is also involved, and Shelterbox Canada will match up to $10,000 raised through Rotary.
And we're just hoping to boost that message and let folks know that there is still definitely a strong need to send that relief and to help them get back on their feet.
We're so concerned about the damage and realizing how severe it is. Also, knowing the island, coming from there, realize it will be years before it really get back to any of what it used to be.
The Windsor-Essex Caribbean Association has also launched a Jamaica Hurricane Relief Fund, raising about $1,400 so far, and plan a fish fry fundraiser on December 6th to keep support going.
This will be an ongoing effort over the year and not just a quick set of relief, that we want to continue to support Jamaica over the long-term rebuild that will surely be happening.
In Windsor, Chris Campbell, CTV News.
The province is bracing for a major shortage of skilled trade workers, and the auto sector is feeling the pressure firsthand. Some local students are stepping into dealership service bays to fill the gap. Sanjay Maru visited a Tilbury dealership today where those skills are being put to the test.
At just 18 years old, Tom Tate already knows his career path. Fresh out of Tilbury District High School, he's now an apprentice technician at the same dealership where he first got his start through a high school co-op program.
Got hired here as an apprentice so that way I can finish that out and become a master technician.
To help address Canada's shortage of skilled labor, Tate entered the field through Ford of Canada's Automotive Career Exploration Program known as ACE. It takes high school and college students out of the classroom and into dealerships, giving them paid, hands-on training, plus access to real vehicle parts donated for use in shop classes.
They start off doing oil changes, simpler stuff, but they're learning right beside technicians who've been with us for 25 years, right, who have a ton of experience, and they get a little glimpse at what that career is like. There's a ton of opportunity for young people.
Adam Lally's dealership has also helped local schools keep pace with modern technology, donating more than 100 updated engines to classrooms across Chatham-Kent.
Previously, they were working on engines from like a 2002, vehicle, and they had 5 different ones. So they were ecstatic to have these new engines and new technology.
And it's that technology which has radically changed since the ACE program launched in 2018, with hybrid and electric vehicles reshaping what it means to be a mechanic.
In the past, people think about maybe wrenches or traditional mechanics, but now it's really evolving into be more like a STEM career. There's a lot of module programming, for example. It's very different. A lot of computer work now.
According to provincial data, at least 1 in 3 workers in Ontario with an apprenticeship or trade certificate is 55 or older, meaning thousands of retirements are on the horizon. And as dealerships and schools work together to build the next generation of technicians, Tate says the best way for students to know if the trades are right for them is simply to try.
Just do it. Just go for it.
Sanjay Maru, CTV News.
Well, it'll still be a little bit before one of those vehicles is able to go across the Gordie Howe Bridge, but it's fun to see how new pictures of the project look. The company behind the bridge sharing some new ones today, which we've put together in a new photo gallery. You can head over to ctvnewswindsor.ca to see that. And if you have questions or want further information on the bridge, a public information session is coming up. It will take place on December 4th at Mackenzie Hall. CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald has your full weather details coming up in 2 minutes' time.
We know that when we spend money locally, we support our local businesses.
And still ahead, Buy Local, Buy Law. The province unveils its new Buy Ontario plan, and not everyone's sold. CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald is here with our first look at the weather tonight. Gary, it was only like 6-7 degrees today.
Yeah, 6-7 degrees, yeah, and that's seasonal for this time of the year, sir. And of course, statistically significant, right? We would normally be closer to about 7.5 degrees, and that's where we are today. 7.5, the average is about 7.2 to 7.4 between Windsor, Essex, Chatham, Kent. The morning was a bit frosty, yes. We got as low as minus 1.8 degrees Celsius, and we've seen frost in the early morning, pre-dawn hours over the last week or two at times. And yes, that's snow in northern central Ontario, Timmins, Kapuskasing, North Bay, even some rain moving through Manitoulin Island. Hello to our friends in Gore Bay there. Meanwhile, what's dragging on the underbelly, if you will, along this weaker cold front, that area is going to bring potentially some very light rain showers into southern Ontario. Very scattered, and there it is moving through. I think if we do see any in the next, say, 8 to 10, 12 hours, will be unscathed. Really, less than a couple of millimeters, and it'll be so sporadic and, well, not really much of anything. However, for travelers headed to the nation's capital, maybe you're catching a flight to Montreal, anticipate increasing rain with that system over northern central Ontario to push that rain and snow further east towards eastern Canada. Something to keep in mind. Could slow you down. As for us here in extreme southwestern Ontario, the overnight temperature is a relatively mild 5 degrees, the lowest temperature point before dawn Friday morning. It'll be cloudy. The wind's relatively light out of the west at around 10 to 15 kilometers per hour. So not much to see here, just gray and cool-ish, but mild is the story for the next few days, in fact. Look at this. Cloudy still to start. Showers, about a 30% chance of that. The westerlies are still persistent, but relatively speaking, not too blustery until we get to, say, midday, 1 o'clock, getting up to 11 degrees Celsius, and by evening, still holding around 9 degrees Celsius between 5 and 6 p.m. Friday evening. All right, take a look at the 7-day forecast. In terms of highs and lows, what we could expect is, well, daytime temperatures, save for Saturday, are going to be well above seasonal. We'll see sunshine for a nice 3-day stretch, Saturday through Sunday into Monday, and then rain and cooling off as we head towards the middle of next week. You'll need the umbrella. But the next 4 days, I think, are going to be pleasant for the most part, especially for the upcoming weekend.
Thank you, Gary. Well, the Ford government wants Ontario to buy Ontario, and it's willing to back it up with new rules and penalties. And they wouldn't just apply to Queen's Park, but to cities and towns, too. CTV's Siobhan Morris has the details.
Whether it's patching up a road, building a new school, or establishing a mass transit line, the Ford government wants to make sure Ontario materials and services are in the thick of things. A response to the U.S. tariffs still squeezing the economy and workers, the government's tabled the Buy Ontario Act.
Would require public sector organizations to give preference to Ontario or Canadian-made goods and services when making purchases.
It's Ontario first, Canada second. Goods from elsewhere will need to be justified. To start, the rules would apply to provincial ministries, agencies, the broader public sector, right down to school boards. Next, consultation with cities and towns.
Municipalities, for the most part, have been supportive, and I think we're going to see through the consultative process that they will be on board with this legislation.
There's an acknowledgement buying local could be more expensive, but Minister Crawford explains looking for the lowest ticket price doesn't always paint a full picture.
We know that when we spend money locally, we support our local businesses, we support our communities, so there will be a weighting that will actually be put down in terms of what's the supply chain benefit right here locally.
The opposition proposed something like this earlier this fall.
We're going to look very closely at it because this government before has proposed things like that, and then we found all kinds of loopholes.
Alberta and Quebec have similar policies, but there's worry about workers in other provinces making stuff for Ontario now.
And so you wouldn't want Buy Ontario to become an interprovincial barrier. So it's kind of counterintuitive. So that's why I'm saying the devil's in the details, right?
The goal is to compile a list of Ontario suppliers to draw from to take out some of the guesswork.
I can't tell you how many small and medium-sized businesses in Ontario tell me it is almost impossible to engage in procurement with the province of Ontario. So until they fix that, this is just a slogan and not a solution.
Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
And another piece of Ontario's EV supply chain is taking shape in St. Thomas, an announcement that adds context to the work underway here in Windsor as our own battery plant moves forward. Here's CTV's Brian Bicknell.
3, 2, 1, go! All right.
Shovels hit the ground in St. Thomas once again as dignitaries broke ground for the latest project to charge up the Ontario and regional economies.
I truly believe in the EV sector. That's the way we're going to be going. That's the way the world's going. And we're going to make sure that we're leaders around the world when it comes to battery manufacturing, electric vehicles.
Premier Ford on hand as Norwegian manufacturer Vianode announced a $3.2 billion investment into its synthetic graphite plant at Yarmouth Yards. Synthetic graphite is the biggest component by weight in electric vehicle batteries. And the announcement coming on the heels of Volkswagen's groundbreaking of its $7 billion PowerCo Gigafactory producing batteries for EVs. Vianode CEO Burkhard Strobe would not comment on potential deals between the two companies.
I would assume that PowerCo and Vianode have the same reasons to come, and that's a very supportive environment as we discussed today. Canada itself has a stable, predictable political system and situation, so that's very important for companies investing a lot of money.
The investment will create 300 jobs in its initial phase, with 1,000 jobs at full capacity.
So many grandparents have come up to me and said, Mayor, you know what's happened? You've made it where our kids can stay home, where our kids can work in a community where they grew up.
The new Vianode plant not going up without some public money. The province has pledged a loan of $670 million subject to conditions. The facility is being built in phases and will ultimately reach 150,000 tons of annual capacity. That's enough synthetic graphite to supply roughly 2 million EVs each year. Brian Bicknell, CTV News.
The TSX fell over 370 points thanks to losses in the basic materials sector. The Dow shed almost 400 and the Nasdaq plunged close to 500. The dollar was off about 1/5 of a cent. Gold lost almost $23 and oil was down 1/4 a barrel. CTV News Windsor has launched a newsletter helping you start your day with the latest local news. By signing up, you'll get direct local content straight from CTV Windsor to your inbox, including top stories, the forecast, and videos. You can sign up at ctvnewswindsor.ca. The weekend is right around the corner, and on Thursdays we like to start thinking about all the fun things happening in our region that we can do with our weekly What's Up YQG segment. Here's CTV's Melanie Kentner and Johnny Parks from Virgin Radio. This week they are tracking Santa.
Yeah, Santa's a busy guy this time of year, so I think we should map out some of the places we can find him, Johnny.
You can leave my house off the map. I've been pretty naughty this year, but we are here with Beth. Could you tell us about Christmas in Tecumseh?
Well, I think I've been pretty nice this year, and so have we all here in Tecumseh. So we're inviting folks to come out here Friday night at 6 o'clock and kick things off with our Santa Claus parade.
And how many entries do you have in the parade this year?
About 40 folks from the community are decorating up their cars and their trucks and celebrating the season.
And there's a bit of an after party as well. What's following up the parade?
Well, the party starts at Town Hall, the OPP Plaza, and carries on here at Tecumseh Arena. We've got a free skate, lots of food, some entertainment, fun and games.
So much fun. Now, what can people bring?
People can bring non-perishable food items and anything else that they think would make a great donation to our good friends at the Goodfellas.
'tis the season to give. And if you can't make it to that, Saturday, some great stuff going on too. The CPKC Holiday Train is coming into town at 5 o'clock. Smash Mouth is playing and JJ Wild. Also, Amherstburg has their parade as well.
And they have a fan zone for all your fans, Johnny.
My fans. I thought it was Santa's fans, but sure.
Oh, right. And what other towns are getting in on the festivities?
LaSalle is kicking off their Holiday Lights event. That's at the Civic Arena and the new skating area.
And there's also something for a little country flair.
If you want to celebrate Christmas on the farm, go to Sarah Park's Horsemanship. No relation here, but Santa's going to be there too.
See, I told you Santa was a busy guy. Now, we put links to everything on our website, ctvnewswindsor.ca, and there's also a contest with Tourism Windsor Essex and the gift guide.
Yeah, you just need the keyword TWEPI.
See, it's all right there. That's what's up, Waikiki.
CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald returns with a look at the week ahead. Gary, Sunday and Monday look nice.
They do look nice. I'm anticipating some sunshine along with milder than seasonal temperatures, Travis. And as you can see with this next 7-day board, it's not a bad looking setup for the weekend. In fact, Friday's mild. If we do see showers, it's more likely to be in the morning and very sporadic, very light. Sunny and warming up from Saturday into Sunday. Monday, we'll get into the teens potentially on Sunday afternoon. That's beautiful. The lows do get chilly into the minuses or at the freezing mark over the next 7 days at times. We'll see some rain towards the middle of next week and then also cool down at that juncture Wednesday into Thursday, 6th and 5. Ebb and flow of the temperature cycle, no less. Wherever you are, enjoy a great night's sleep and your weather. Good night.
Thank you, Gary. Finally tonight, take a look at this, a bit of old school tradition as Tecumseh brings on a new fire truck. This push-in ceremony dates back to the early days of the fire service when hand-drawn or horse-drawn fire trucks had to be pushed back into the fire hall after every single call. However, unlike those vehicles, this one cost the town $2.5 million. That's our time for tonight. I hope you'll join us tomorrow. For now, I'm Travis Fortnum. Take care.